ABC7 News. I'm here in Kennedy Park with Grace Davis's mom, Kelly Davis. If you haven't heard about the Davis case, 3-year-old Grace Davis was kidnapped from a local fair right here in New Jersey and held captive for 11 years until a private investigator hired by her parents eventually found her across the United States in Oregon. Grace's kidnapper was 45 years old and took her from the fair that day while he was visiting New Jersey for work. He abused her for years. With the court cases finally coming to an end, Mrs. Davis agreed to meet up at the station and answer a few questions for us. So, how does it feel to have your little girl back?
Well, there's no better feeling than being back with my girl. We had waited for this moment for 11 years, but now having Grace finally attending school again and feeling comfortable around us, it feels like our family is finally falling back into place.
It has been brought to the public's attention that Grace has had some difficulties assimilating to her life when she finally got back. This is obviously understandable, if not expected. How has this impacted your family?
Grace, as many know, has been diagnosed with multiple personality disorder, which is now referred to as dissociative identity disorder. It was very hard to wrap our heads around at first. This disease is so rare, and I have personally never encountered anything like it, or really heard about it. It was hard to tell at first, since I was away from her for so long, so I didn't really know which personality was actually Grace. It took me a while to figure it out, but with great counselors and the support of the community, this disorder is becoming less prominent in our lives.
That's great to hear. I'm glad everything is working out for you guys. If you don't mind me asking, what has been the hardest part of coping with this?
Probably just watching her deal with everything. None of the personalities she embodies are dangerous, so I don't feel scared, but it is interesting for me to be able to interact with all of these different people. But the moments of memory loss scare her and myself. She gets frustrated and doesn't feel in control. Also, kids her age can be mean, making school harder than it should be for her.
I'm sorry to hear that. At least she has a great support system at home.
Yes, at least we can always provide that for her. I wish I was more knowledgeable on the subject. Well, I wish everyone was more knowledgeable on it. It would make her feel less out of place and provide more answers to the questions we've all been asking.
Well, hopefully one day there will be. It would help out a lot of people in need of answers. Thank you for your time today. Everyone always loves to hear about Grace. ABC7 signing off.
Grace? Hi, come in. You can have a seat.
Okay.
I remember the last time we talked, we came to the conclusion that you had about 3 identities so far. You want to tell me anything about them?
Yeah, I've definitely noticed them like a lot more present recently. They come out every now and again.
Okay. Have they been around more often, or have you noticed like their presence decreasing?
I guess it just kind of like depends on the day. Sometimes at school when people talk about things that are like traumatic or triggering to me, it kind of makes my different identities come out, which can be tough, but yeah.
Okay, well, just so you know, homeschooling is always an option, and then you can go to college whenever you feel comfortable. Like, there's no rush for that. But we can try and set up a counselor at school, like just for you, so you can go to her whenever you feel like a certain emotion or you see one of your personalities emerging. But for right now, just start to tell me a little bit about your different identities.
My first personality is like myself, and so obviously my name's Grace, and she's like the host personality, and she like takes over, not takes over, but she's like the presence of my whole body. And she's like a 16-year-old girl who likes to like wear trendy clothes and hang out with her friends and just do fun things. And then there's another one, and she goes by Baby Grace. And she's 3 years old because the traumatic event that happened to me was when I was kidnapped when I was 3 from a fairground. And because of that, she comes out when I like see a fairground, either images of it or pass by it, or when like I see a funnel cake, smell a funnel cake, or any other kind of things that like you see or smell at a fairground. So that's basically her personality, and she just is like a young girl and just kind of acts like a normal like 3-year-old child would. And then my third personality that comes out, his name is Josh, and he acts as like an older protective brother almost.
Okay.
So if people talk about traumatic things, like if I'm at school and like I hear like traumatic things happening or someone's being bullied or just like a negative thing is said, then the personality of Josh comes out, and he kind of like makes it like he kind of just acts as like that older brother and tries to like stand up to everything, even if I don't want him to be there.
Okay. So how has it been at school, like dealing with that? Have you been able to like socialize or try and make any friends at all?
Yeah, so at school, obviously as like a sophomore in high school, like judgment is huge right now, and so I really try to like my best to like not let my classmates know about my multiple personality disorder. Of course, that's kind of hard to manage sometimes because the personalities just come out, like I said, within conversations or things that I can't control. But for the most part, I just try to keep it to myself. But also, my teachers, they know about it just because, obviously, I just have to let them be aware of my disorder. That
Good. I think it's good that you allowed your teachers to know about it. And I totally understand the whole judgment thing with your friends. How does that make you feel, like, trying to not really hide, but try not to like let them see what's really going on?
Obviously, like it makes me feel sad, and I feel very isolated and like kind of like in my own world. Like no one actually knows who I am. So because of that, it makes me like anxious all the time that like my personalities are going to come out and people are going to find out the truth. Or I also feel very depressed just because I feel so alone all the time. So those things just kind of suck. And
We see that a lot. Do you think the medicine has been helping? If not, it's okay. Sometimes they can get out of balance or things can change, so we can fix that if you need to.
yeah, I actually do think that the medication is helping with my symptoms. I take an antidepressant, obviously, to help with my depression, and then an anti-anxiety, and they do both help with those symptoms. It just, there aren't any medications I can take right to help with like getting rid of the other identities.
No, unfortunately, there's no medication to make them go away, but all we can do right now is just you keep taking those medicines so your symptoms feel a little bit better, and then we can just try and manage it as best as we can with coming to these sessions and yeah, just keeping up with that.
Okay, cool. But I know that obviously definitely makes me feel better. Just talking about it with someone who doesn't judge me really makes me feel good about it.
Of course, that's what I'm here for. I'll see you next week at like 4 o'clock.
Okay, sounds good. I'll see you then.
Awesome, thanks.